Sir, that will be extra. Once you've signed the agreement and the work is started, you'll start hearing this phrase again and again and again for things you just assumed were included. Oh, sir, that price only included a 2-foot deep foundation. Your land needs a 5-foot one. That'll be extra. Or, the tiles included in the contract are these very basic ones. You wanted the nice ones from the showroom? Well, that's extra. It just keeps coming, and before you know it, your budget is completely blown. You actually paid more than the honest builder was asking, but you got a house built with all those cheap, low-quality materials. It is the absolute worst of both worlds. When a builder gives you that super low price, they're not doing you a favor. They are deliberately choosing to build your home with the cheapest, lowest quality ingredients on the market.
Sometimes a truce is the most important part of a war. With that philosophy in mind, let's get right into the video.
Let's talk about one of the biggest and most costly mistakes people make when building a new home. It's called the square foot rate trap, and honestly, it's a sneaky trick that looks like a great deal but can turn into a total financial nightmare. So let's break down exactly how it works and how you can avoid it. Okay, imagine this. You're ready to build your dream 1,000 square foot house. You get 2 quotes. Builder A says he can do it for 1,800 rupees per square foot. Builder B comes in at 2,400. Now do the math. That's a 6 lakh difference. I mean, who wouldn't want to save 6 lakh rupees? The choice seems like a no-brainer, right? Well, here's the shocking part. A staggering 90% of people look at those 2 numbers and walk straight into the trap. They pick the lower price thinking they've scored an amazing deal. And that is exactly what the builder with the low quote wants you to do. But here's the hard truth they don't tell you. That 1,800 rupee quote isn't a discount. It's bait. It's a classic bait and switch. It's designed to hook you with a low number, but in the end, it will almost certainly cost you way more than the honest, higher quote ever would. To really get what's going on here, we need to forget about construction for a second and talk about biryani. Yeah, you heard me right, biryani. It sounds kind of funny, but trust me, it's the perfect way to explain this whole problem. So picture 2 biryani shops right next to each other. Shop A sells a plate for 100 rupees. Shop B sells what looks like the same thing for 250. Right away, your brain is telling you something, isn't it? It's telling you there's no way those 2 plates of biryani are actually the same. And you'd be right. When you look closer, you see why. The 100 rupee biryani uses cheap ration rice, not fragrant basmati. It's made with dalda, not pure ghee. And the chicken, well, let's just say it's not the freshest. The extra money you pay at Shop B is for quality ingredients. You're paying for a better, safer meal. And this is exactly what's happening with your house. Your home has ingredients too. The steel is your chicken, the cement is your rice, the sand is your ghee. When a builder gives you that super low price, they're not doing you a favor. They are deliberately choosing to build your home with the cheapest, lowest quality ingredients on the market. So let's pull back the curtain and get specific. Where exactly are they cutting corners? What are these cheap materials that you don't even know are going into your home? Well, let's start with steel, the very skeleton of your house. A good builder uses primary steel from trusted brands like Tata or JSW. The cheap builder, they're using local scrap steel that's been melted down and re-rolled. It's just not as strong. For cement, the glue holding everything together, they'll use a lower grade. And for sand, they'll use stuff that's full of dust and hasn't been washed, which is a major reason you see those ugly cracks on walls later on. Now, using cheap materials is bad enough, for sure, but believe it or not, that's only half the story. The real danger comes next. It's how that low price is used as a weapon against you in what we call the extra bill trap. You'll know the trap has been sprung the moment you hear these words. Sir, that will be extra. Once you've signed the agreement and the work is started, you'll start hearing this phrase again and again and again for things you just assumed were included. Here's the playbook. You sign that contract for the low rate, feeling like you got a great deal. Then the surprises start. Oh, sir, that price only included a 2-foot deep foundation. Your land needs a 5-foot one. That'll be extra. Or, the tiles included in the contract are these very basic ones. You wanted the nice ones from the showroom? Well, that's extra. It just keeps coming, and before you know it, your budget is completely blown. And here's the final, painful result. You chose the 1,800 quote to avoid the 2,400 price. But after all the extras, you end up paying something like 2,500 rupees per square foot. You actually paid more than the honest builder was asking, but you got a house built with all those cheap, low-quality materials. It is the absolute worst of both worlds. So how in the world do you protect yourself from this? It's actually pretty simple. You have to completely change the question you're asking. You have to arm yourself with the right information. Your most powerful weapon is a document called a BOQ, which stands for Bill of Quantities. This is not just a price quote. This is a detailed ingredient list for your house. It spells out the exact brand of steel, the grade of cement, the quality of wires, absolutely everything. So from now on, you're going to stop asking what's your square foot rate, and you're going to start asking these questions instead. Ask for a detailed BOQ. Ask which brand of steel and wires they'll use. Ask what the price limit is for your tiles. An honest builder will have these answers ready and will be happy you asked. A dishonest one will start making excuses. That's your red flag. So this is the most important thing to remember. You need to compare the specifications, not just the price. Get the detailed BOQ from 2 or 3 builders and then compare them, line by line. It's the only way to know what you are truly paying for. So I'll leave you with this final thought. A low price tag is just a number, and as we've seen, it can be a total lie. But a detailed specification sheet, that's a promise. It's a promise of quality, a promise of durability, and a promise of safety for you and your family. So the question is, when it's your turn to build, are you just going to buy a price tag, or are you going to buy a promise?
Like, share, and subscribe to Connect and Build. I have already done. Did you guys subscribe?